Before we start this evening, I want to acknowledge our amazing greeters from Sumner High School. As with most students, we know you're very busy, but we appreciate you taking time to join us. If you'd like to come up, not to put you on the spot, but if you wouldn't mind coming up and introducing yourself and tell us a little about what you have going on in your school, that'd be great.
Hi, my name is Vivian Smith. I'm a junior at Sumner High School and I'm on the cheer team.
My name is, hear me? Cool. My name is Sam Neely. I'm a senior at Sumner High School. I'm a captain on the boys soccer team and I'm participating in full IB right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us tonight and all the great work you're doing as student leaders at the high school. All right, so we have approval agenda. It's recommended, the administration recommends that the board of directors approve the April 17th, 2024 board meeting agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? No. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, recommendation of consent items. The administration recommends that the board of directors approve the consent items for April 17th, 2024 board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items as listed?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Awesome. Any discussion? No, seeing as none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, it's a great time of the agenda where we get to recognize staff, students in the community, which is always very exciting. Martina Schreier, a principal at Emerald Hills Elementary, is here to recognize one of our outstanding teachers, Laura Young.
Ready for me? Okay. All right. As I was just introduced, I'm Martina Scheer. I'm the principal at Emerald Hills, and this is Laura Young, our Laker Life Lab teacher. We have a unique opportunity at Emerald Hills to have a kindergarten, first and second grade specialist who not only does social and emotional learning, which is what she was initially hired to do. She has expanded that to, and well, actually, she's my music teacher, but then she decided, you know, life got the best of her and needed a little bit less time, and we had this amazing job open up a couple years ago, and she has taken this job to an outdoor learning experience, and our kids flourish. She has a forest school, a garden learning area, and students march around outside and learn about life and interaction and community building together. She also does an incredible job supporting our Native American organization and / club at our building. We do a lot of community building there. She brings our community in. She welcomes them in and has a space for them in our space. And that is how she's been acknowledged from the Pierce Conservation Teacher of the Year. She has done amazing work with the Pierce Conservation Group. We've had things come into our school. We've had artwork for calendars. So Laura, I just want to give you maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes to say anything else you'd like to. 2.5 minutes, real quick, because she says it much better than I do of what she does at our school and how she brings our community in. So I'll give you 2.5. Okay, all right. Should I set the timer? That is how she rolls. I don't work well with time. Okay. Parameters.
Parameters are good. Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. So if you saw outside, I think that for me, a lot of times pictures really speak. So if you want to see some photos of what we do in the Life Lab, these were some slides. Thank you, Charmaine, for putting those together. I sure appreciate that. I kind of, if it's okay, wanted to the blurb that kind of came out in our newsletter wasn't like fully accurate. And I just wanted to comment that we do have an actual STEM teacher, not me, who is amazing. So I wanted to make sure that that went on record because she is one of my most cherished teammates. And I would never take that from her in more ways than one. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the award that we received. I won't say I received it. We received it. I worked really closely with a dedicated team. And it was for land stewardship of our natural resources. So I wanted to just read you something that I wrote. In the Life Lab, we tend the land. And if you want to flip through the slides as you look, that was my intention. We touch leaves, we admire flowers, we dig holes, we sing to the birds. We wash our faces in sunshine and we hug our favorite trees in forest school. We learn the names of native plants in 12 shoot seed, and we investigate how pollinators hold our ecosystems together. We sing songs to our seed as we put them in the soil. Plants also like knock knock chokes, if you didn't know that. And we trace the water as it flows from Tahoma to the Salish Sea. And we never waste an opportunity for awe. We have 3 kinds of awe. We go, ah, or we go, ah, or we go, ah. Any of those ahs we are all about in Life Lab. But we're also about the idea that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. And we borrow it from our children who we are training and growing and raising in a time where they're going to face the devastating effects of climate change. And as they grow and as they raise our grandchildren and their grandchildren. And at the Sumner-Bonney Lake School District, we've made a pledge to know, value, and support our students in their pursuit of a promising future. And I take that pledge very seriously. And as we look around our schools and our streets and our homes, one of the most important questions we can ask is what if? What if we stop trying to control the land and choose to flourish alongside it instead? What if instead of pointing a finger, we reach out a hand? What if that promising future means more than a diploma or a score on a standardized test? What if our wealth wasn't measured by what we have, but what we're willing to give away? The Life Lab, like I said, it doesn't belong to me, and this reward is not mine. There actually was no reward, it was an award. But we will always accept donations to our program. I'm really fortunate to have a community that not only tolerates my propensity for what ifs, but also offers themselves up to make it happen. So I want to acknowledge Teresa Washington, who is our Native American education instructor. She is my dearest partner. She's one of the only people I know who can toe-to-toe with me on what ifs and why nots. We also have an amazing elder from the Similkameen Band up in BC, who is a grandmother at our school who volunteers and who has helped us steward all of our amazing growing places. And I also want to recognize my newest friend, Dave Cutts, who is head of M&O. I appreciate his kindness and his generosity and his willingness to be enchanted by the magic of the Life Lab as we reimagine the difference between landscaping and outdoor growing and learning spaces. I was told that what we do is borderline appropriate, and I really love to be in that space because I believe that that's where our growth happens and that's where we really find the whole child. So finally, the last thing I want to do is to acknowledge all of the staff at my school and the parents who come. We have tens and tens of families that have come through the summer to water plants, to weed. We have small businesses that donate. And it's important to me that our garden program and our forest program grows more than just plants, that it grows community. And that includes a lot of the people who traditionally have not been allowed to be part of our communities of environmentalism and conservation. People have been pushed out, like Indigenous and BIPOC leaders, queer and disabled leaders. And those are the people upon whose shoulders this work stands on. So I just want to make sure that they are at this table with me as well. So I dedicate this award to them because they've taught us that you only have freedom when you come with an open heart, that when we listen, we can learn, and that if we have seeds, we have hope. And as long as we have a voice, we can speak truth to power. So we speak and we teach the kids the name of the plants. We teach them to hug trees, to marvel at the rain collecting on a leaf. We teach them to find joy in being present in nature and in their bodies. We teach them that climate care is collective care, is community care, and that just like plants, we're stronger and healthier when we support one another. We teach them that their well-being is forever linked to the well-being of the very land that we stand on, and that violence brought upon one living thing is violence that can be turned upon anybody else. We teach them that, like the trees, they can reach for the stars while being rooted in gratitude and their community and ancestral wisdom. So, plant natives, protect the waters, and fight every day for the promise of a liberated future for all. And always ask yourself, what have you done for the soil today?
Special coin that we always give out. And then, well, I wish, right? It's not a donation, but that was a good plug.
Yeah, you know.
I know, I thought, that a girl.
Am I?
Oh, do you want to get the board in there as well? Just want to, maybe we scoot over there.
We can come this way.
You can see why she got Teacher of the Year.
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations, Laura, on that award. All right, at this time, we'll move to superintendent comments.
Yeah, just two quick things, two quick reminders, because great things are happening across the district. This weekend, community cultural celebration. Sumner High School, try that fast 3 times, right? Sumner High School Phase 1 building from 11 to 2 on Saturday. You don't want to miss this event. It's going to be fantastic. It's free. Anyone can, I mean, all are welcome. Anyone can attend. There's even going to be transportation spots up in Bonney Lake in case transportation is an issue. We just want everyone to come and celebrate. Food trucks, dancing. Here, there's going to be a little hip hop action, some storytelling. So it should be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there, 11 to 2, Sumner High School. And then the other big event that we have planned is on April 30th, which is the Community Summit. All are welcome. It's a free dinner. The only thing we ask you to do is to register so that we know how many to plan for. But it is always a great event. Starts around 4 o'clock, ends, oh, I don't know when you leave really, but around 8:30 or so. But it's a wonderful evening where the community comes together and just celebrates all of the wonderful things that are happening. So hope to see you at both events.
Awesome, thank you. Looking forward to those. At this time, we'll do board member comments. Billy, you want to go first?
I think we're continually picking on the new guy. So in addition to being a father, grandfather, board member, I get to be a volunteer softball field maintenance person. And last week I had the opportunity when I was down working on it to meet 2 of Dave's crew who were there getting the field ready and such. And I found out about some partnerships. And I know one of the things in our district, we really work hard is our partnerships. And sometimes I think we forget about those that are within the district. But Karen and Dave told me about this partnership, which is with M&O and our community-based program. And we have students who work during the week, 1 day a week right now. And they are dropped off there. They learn how to clock in. They learn how to operate with the rest of the crew. They're doing landscaping. They're doing learning the tools themselves, moving into landscaping work at a higher level, pruning, weeding, cutting lawns, doing all these type of things. But they're really learning is work skills and working with those. And I've heard rumor that Dave is actually working on tools that are appropriate to have students use, which I really appreciate. But the part that stuck out to me is the 2 members of the crew who were telling me about this were so excited and have said over and over that the whole maintenance crew is really taking these students in, and with the idea that they want them to be progressive workers. And if I'm not mistaken, Karen shared with me that one of the students is applying for a position with the city of Bonney Lake in their maintenance crew operations. So what a great thing. And then I found out that at Sumner Middle School, we have a young lady who loves office work. So she has been going in and working with the secretaries in the offices, learning secretarial skills that she could use as she goes out and applies for opportunities while she's going to school and afterwards. So just some great opportunities for our kids. And I really so appreciate all of this working together. But I know Karen and Dave, you guys foster an environment where these things happen. So thank you so much.
Well, that's great. It's really good. Paul?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Well, that makes sense since last week was spring break in the district. So it's not a lot that's happened since our last board meeting and to report. Hopefully everybody, staff got a nice refresh and back at it to get to that end of that school year. All right. So now it is time for audience comments.
Thank you. Next, we're moving on to the audience comment portion of the meeting. The board recognizes the value of public comment on education issues and the importance of involving members of the public in its meetings. Comments from the public are taken under board advisement and may or may not receive action at a future meeting. Topics including charges or complaints against employees, employment or dismissal of personnel, acquisition of real estate, lawyer-client relationships, campaigning, and parameters for negotiations should not be discussed in audience comments. Other information, question, or problems can usually be addressed by district staff. The audience comment period will end when all registered speakers have been heard. We ask that everyone adhere and understand these guidelines. In order to maintain respect for all points of view, the school board requests no clapping, booing, or any other form of support or non-support be used. The board will not respond to comments, but will take them under advisement. Speakers should be courteous and professional. Please refrain from using profanity, vulgar language, threatening, or defamatory comments. As a reminder, individuals are not permitted to name a specific staff member, board member, or student during public comments. Failure to do so may result in the board president or designee interrupting or ending the comment. The audience comment process is as follows. Only speakers who registered by noon on Tuesday, April 16th will be heard. Those providing in-person public comment, when their name is called, will come up to the podium and state their name. If you're providing a virtual public comment, when your name is called, you'll be promoted to panelist. Please address comments to the school board as a whole. Individuals will have 3 minutes to speak, and I will signal speakers with the bell when 1 minute remains. Our first public speaker this evening is Philip Loit. Philip? All right. Our next audience comment is from Mr. Veteran.
Good afternoon, board. I don't come to you with good news. Last month, I don't know, I don't work here, man. I don't know how to make it work.
Robin will help you.
Mic is on, you just gotta get close. Oh, there we are. Get closer. How about that? Everybody better? Yeah, good. Cool. So, I came by last month, last board meeting, to address some criminal behavior by some of your staff. Now, in your rules over here, you say I can't name them. Well, your own staff won't name these potential criminals. I've asked for their names. They stand on policy. They tell me, oh, you haven't signed up for the meeting. Well, I'm sure you have a policy to identify if you're working here. I'm sure you have an obligation to the community. So I guess I'd start out by asking, what's the status of my complaint I made to you last meeting? Have you looked into any of the criminal complaints I've made? No, of course you haven't. Is it within the scope of this board's organization that and the staff that it governs to conduct police investigations? Secret police investigations. Is that within the scope of your duties? I mean, I'm sure that you won't take the opportunity to address this, as I've got a minute and a half to explain all this to you. And as he so eloquently read earlier, I get to stand and have my 3 minutes and you guys won't do a darn thing. 18 USC 241, conspiracy. 18 USC 242. Right there. Conspiracy to subvert my civil rights. We have a right to come in here and find out what's going on. Why are you guys, instead of your sunshine policy, why do you have your areas blocked off? What on earth are you people hiding here? I come by on costume day and you guys are all just playing games in here. I come in for a serious matter, what I believe is a serious matter, and we'll find out because I made a information request for the cell phone, and we'll find out on the 22nd just exactly what's going on around here. And I really hope I don't have to come back with proof that there is indeed a secret police investigation. So I would once again ask you, why does Sumner staff not have to identify when they're asked who works here? Why are they conducting secret investigations? Do you have police powers? You compel speech at the front door by making people sign in on the thing. You confuse surveillance for security.
Thank you. Our next audience comment is Terry McCoy.
Nobody has anything to say. Stop. Shocked.
Thank you. Ms. McCoy.
Good evening, Dr. Dent and the school board district directors. My name is Terry McCoy, and I've lived in the district for 48 years. First, I want to compliment the district website team on parts of the new website. The flip side of a new design is the challenge of the new. I can't find information in places where I used to find what I was looking for. Life is a continual learning process, though, so thank you for another opportunity. I realize the board is not available for answering questions during the audience comment section of the meeting, but I still need to ask them. What measurement system is used in order to know the success rate of DEI policies? Is that system available for public viewing? Why are diverse students seen as marginalized instead of inclusively seeing all students through their individual talents and skills and amazing personalities? In my audience comments tonight, I want to address concerns coming from myself and some in the community at large regarding the lack of protection for all students. For example, the current lawsuit against the district. Another example are families who have children in the IEP who would suggest our district is not following the law and implementing adequate interventions with measurable goals. And my last example, once again, has to do with too many students year after year, maybe not being prepared with reading, math, and science as they go into the future. This week, I came across parents and other community members who believe the school board doesn't care due to the fact that some of them have repeatedly brought their concerns just to be ignored. Many of those parents have given up and pulled their kids out of our public schools. Business owners, community members, and grandparents such as myself will not give up working alongside the board and our superintendent to do a better job of inclusively protecting all students. All students are diverse, and all students need to be inclusively protected. I keep returning month after month to be a voice of liberty for all students and families, even when I know we may be on opposite sides of an issue. That's diversity. Liberty for all students means liberty for all. Liberty doesn't mean using coercion, and it doesn't mean using indoctrination. As the board setting school and district policies, how do you recommend community members track your record of the 5 bullet points listed on our district website? I don't have time to list them, but I believe you know what they are. They're very impressive, to say the least. However, I'm concerned, as impressive as they sound, I wonder where and how to find out both the progress and the success rate. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next audience comment is Teresa McClymans.
Hello, is this close enough? Okay. Hi, I live in Bonnie Lake. My name's Teresa. And such a time as this for the district. Soon you will be interviewing and appointing a new school board member to represent the good people in this district. I understand that you probably haven't done that yet. Haven't looked just in this last week, but that's my assumption. So surely you understand that if you interview in a way that ensures the district another strong DEI candidate, you will be excluding nearly 60% of the people and taxpayers of this district. This is a concern for me, and I would believe, honestly, it would be concern for many on the board. This would not be inclusive if you were to interview for the insurance of another strong DEI candidate. So my hopes is that you will interview so that you make sure that the one representing us on the board would represent the other 60%. I understand that you got high marks as a superintendent and as the board this year from the state. And we all know where the state lies. It's exclusive to many, not inclusive, although they use that word. This is upsetting for the majority of the good people of our state and in each district. So I encourage you to really look at the definition in your hearts and minds and your own convictions that really to represent the many on the board is an important asset to the families and children and parents of this community. And they are the ones that pay for the lighting, the beautiful technology. Okay. And then we all know, going to another subject, is the OSPI report scores. They're so low. I loved seeing they continue to be low, and that's just a COVID thing. We can look back. No, what is the goal of each district, not only just in our state or even just here, but how about our nation? You got this really cool CTE program. A lot can't read adequately enough to be included in that awesome program. That's a shame. Let's change. Let's do better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next audience comment is Rocco Lamana.
Dr. Dent and esteemed board members, last month's community comments and some that were made tonight leave me deeply concerned. The unchecked hate speech is allowed to fester, poses a significant threat to the future of our students and our communities. The ignorance displayed about diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, and the understanding of gender and sexual identities was alarming. The presenters tossed around the words and concepts as if they were backed by scientific research. However, their arguments lacked any semblance of critical thinking or evidence-based reasoning. It was disconcerting to hear DEI being blamed for the deterioration of an organization's quality of work. This perspective conveniently overlooks the historical fact that this country was built on the hard work of immigrants at the expense of Native American tribes. The absurdity reached new heights when DEI was linked to Boeing's recent mechanical issues and even to the lowering standards of law students. The presenter's rhetoric was riddled with microaggressions towards marginalized communities, revealing their true colors. Their confusing misrepresentation of sex and gender ideologies are particularly concerning. These seem to conflate sexual orientation with sex, which is not an ideology, but a biological attribute assigned at birth. For most people, living as white, heterosexual, male or female requires no effort. It's simply who they are. However, for Black, brown communities and members of the LGBTQIA plus community, race, gender, and sexual identity are everyday struggles due to the fear of marginalization and rejection. When I came out as gay, I was finally able to live authentically and wholly. I am not an ideology. I am gay. That is who I am. The harmful rhetoric spewed by the presenters erases the existence of students who identify differently. It sends a damaging message to our students struggling with their sexual orientation and gender identities, making them feel invisible and unimportant. The strategic plan of the Sumner-Bonney Lake School District aims to prepare students to know, value, and respect. This means equipping our students to become productive citizens in a diverse society. To be future ready, they must understand, value, and respect the differences people bring to the workplace, community, and schools. Let's stay the course and continue the good work on our strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our audience comments for this evening.
Thank you very much. All right, at this time, we will hear a budget update from our Chief Finance and District Operations Officer, Bang Parkinson.
Board of Directors, Superintendent Dan. Tonight, I give you a little bit updates on our budget process and the legislative section, which is just end in March 7, basically. So, let's see. So this is our agenda. I mean, the calendar that we sent last month. So far, we are following this calendar. And as I mentioned that, this year we have a short sections from the legislatures, and it starts in January and end in March 7. So between times, we already kind of prepare, even though we don't know what is going on. We already prepare our enrollment projection. We already prepare our staffing, meeting with principals, meeting with departments, and send out all the budgets and all the staffing information. So, so far we are really on schedule. We are waiting for this Friday. HR going to, the first database push over from HR to finance. Then we will review all those staffing that we intend to budget. So that is our timeline for this weekend. And so far so good. Our process pretty on time. So a little bit update in the legislature. As I mentioned that this is a short section, we do have a lot of big changes. However, there's several pieces change that impact school districts, and I just kind of select some of those that impact us. There's tons of them out there. But this is worth to take a look. We have the bill 5882, which is change the name from what we call it, instructional assistants to paraeducator. So they change a little bit of the rate of the funding, slightly increase, not a whole big increase for para, office support, and non-instructional classified employee. And then they also increase in that different bill 2494, which is increased $21 in the MSOC, which is tried to cover the insurance and utility increase. They starting in 23-24, because the current year we pay 25% more in the insurance. So they understand that is the need to increase and retroactive for that funding to pay for the differences. And again, the special ed, not much increase, only increase the percentage of the cap. We're still under. So it really don't have much of the impact to us in terms of funding. Then the IPD is a 3.7% this year. So there's a couple of the capital projects worth to talk about, like a clean building compliance. Been talking about that a couple years now, but there's no such a funding, but you still have to comply for that. So we're hopeful that if we get funding for next biennium, that way we will get the compliance, because it's really pricey. Just for one school coming up in 2026 is a Bonney Lake High School, have to be compliant or a penalty. So we have to put aside some money to do it. Regardless, this is an unfunded mandate items. Then another one is the SCAP program, that they increase the square footage from 271 to 350, which is a good news for us. When we have bond or pass a bond, then we are able to get a little bit more money for the matching fund. So that is a good news for this one. So something we need to kind of consider for next school year, 24-25. As I showed you last time, that our enrollment projections come in very flat just for the next year.
So what's that mean to us? When the enrollments come in flat, means that it drive the same level of revenue, either the state revenue and the levy as well, because our levy is based on the enrollment projection. I mean, the enrollment, actual enrollment. So if we don't have a lot of kids coming, we don't get a lot of levy money, regardless if we get voted high dollar amount, we won't get that. So it's based on the actual student enrollment to get funded for the levy. So as the apportionment. So again, we talk a little bit about the Bill 5882 and 2494, a little bit slightly increase of the funding source to cover the cost, especially those staffing ratio increase a little bit, which is we already hire more than we are funded, and we pay more than we are funded as well. So just a little bit increase. And of course, we are having 3 groups of bargaining coming, which is Kappa, maintenance, and coaches. Any question? It's a short presentation.
Thank you, Bang. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Paul.
Just so I'm clear, on the legislative updates, the first slide where you said it was the MSOCs, they increased to $21. Is that per year?
No, 21, yes, this year, but $21 is per student count,
Per student?
FTE,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so then you multiply that by the amount of,
For,
okay.
yeah.
All right, thank you for the clarification.
Sure.
It's like $21, are they kidding me?
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Bill? Okay. Thank you very much, Bang.
Oh, thank
Appreciate it.
you.
All right. So in addition to that, Bang has provided a financial report that you'll see for February. This is for information only. We also have some information only for policy matters. We have a few district procedures to consider. District procedures are presented for information purpose only and do not require adoption. And board procedures in accordance with policy 1310, adoption and amendment of policies and bylaws. The following procedures have been included for your information only: 6970P, 2020P, 3141P. And those are for you information only. All right, we have a few presentations for the board this evening. The first is a technology update from our Director of Technology Operations, Robin Rich, followed by a capital facilities funding presentation from Bang Parkinson and Mac Preston.
Thank you, Dr. Lori Dent, Vice President Kevin Lewis, distinguished board and audience. I am so very proud to be here to present. This is my first presentation to a board like this, so please bear with me. I'll probably be shaking the entire time and stuff. My name is Robin Rich. I'm the Director of Technology and very proud of the department and the team that I am leading. As always, we know, value, and support every one of our students completely and thoroughly. We go out of our way to complete our promise, and technology takes that very personally. We actually had an event where the entire department had to sit down and describe in great detail and put it in black and white of how we support every goal that the district has. And it was pages. So I'm very proud of my team. The goal of Bonnie Lake Sumner School District, responsible stewards of public funds by focusing on responsible, effective, and efficient operation practices to maximize student success. We believe this, we live it. School Board Policy 2022, the Sumner School District Board of Directors recognizes that an effective public education system develops students who are globally aware, civically engaged, and capable of managing their lives and careers. The board also believes that the students need to be proficient and safe users of the information, media, and technology to succeed in this digital world. This is my entire team. I'm very proud of them, and I just wanted to make a kind of a cool slide to show our org chart within our department. The technology department, we do so many things besides just the technology, but in true fact, last year, 6,720 work orders, 9,733 phone calls. Please understand that those phone calls are everyone in distress. Those aren't, hello, Robin, how are you doing today? Those are, it don't work and stuff. We roster and support single sign-on of over 40 software applications used by staff and students, and we roughly support over 30,000 portable devices. This is a non-exhaustive list of apps we roster at SSO, single sign-on. So it's quite extensive. I'm not going to go through and name them, but everyone inside here that works for the district can look and find the program that they use, and we're the ones that are standing it up and trying to support it for them. Types of devices we support: laptops, desktops, extra monitors. It just goes on and on. Access control, that's our big one right now, and we're very proud of it. We're moving very fast to really help ensure that our students feel safe. It's a single one thing that came out of leadership for me, that students weren't feeling safe, and this is a big deal for us. Equitable access to technology. We are a one-to-one touch Chromebook program in K-12. There's a lot of one-to-one programs out there. Very few of them are touch. Understand that. That is very cool. Wireless access in the stadium and parking lot. Bus Wi-Fi, which allows students to engage and utilize the transportation time for learning. Take-home hotspots for the families that don't have internet or to need to increase the internet. They merely must ask, and we provide. And every staff member has access to a mobile touch device. Technology department impact on student performance. We provide tools to help students communicate, collaborate, and engage in creative thinking. We provide teachers with superior tools, which helps them retain our great teachers, and we have the best. We provide the critical infrastructure to make all the operations we depend on work. Our students benefit. Who benefits from our strong technology? Our students benefit. They graduate with superior technology skills, ready to compete in their post-secondary careers. Our teachers benefit as we provide great tools and support for instruction, allowing them to focus on the student. Teachers placing a call today get response today or first thing in the morning. That's a fact. Our staff benefits, but we provide security access as well as security for all of our confidential and sensitive data, while providing excellent customer service, training, and technology updates to all Sumner-Bonney Lake staff members. Our community benefits, allowing them, for the people that are online right now, they can watch us via Zoom. So it's a never-ending circle. How are we funded? 2020, 22 and 23 school year, it's all up there. I won't sit here and bore you with the numbers, but the 23-24, our general fund allocation was almost 400,000. The technology levy is 4 million. Our assurance funds so far this year is 67,000. Very proud of that. And our E-rate and EFC revenue is about 257. I'm waiting for a big one to come in, but I can't put it on the black and white. Bang and kill me. And stuff, literally. So passing the 6-year levy is huge. We can't thank the voters enough. We truly, honestly can't. And for everyone in here that voted, I can't thank you enough. I promise I will be a great steward of your money. The technology levy update. We're on our last phase of the 6-year. This is our last year of it, and we have it until August, well, September 1st. But we will have accomplished everything we promised in the last tech levy and much, much more. Despite adding extra projects along the way, we will still end with a positive fund balance, and we are in a great place, great position financially. We are working very hard to show our community that we are great stewards of public funds and providing a clear path of why we need their support to continue the great work to empower our teaching and learning. This is an overall great level of our budget all the way through here, and this is the 6th year of it. and stuff. I didn't drag it out so you could see every year, but we are well on point. Right now, we are at 21,007 out of the 31 that we were really playing with. So we're going to completely exceed everyone's ability and meet our goals. Short-term projects. Our dark fiber project seems like I keep bringing that up. Dark fiber, ooh. Dark fiber will finally hopefully be completed this year and everything. We're waiting. Our goal is to have it by September 28th. That's our longest date, but we're really looking forward to be done in June. The district switch upgrade was huge. That was a big deal. We got that all the way across the board. With the dark fiber, that'll allow us to put 50 gigs in every school, 50 gigs of data. Every one of you are at 10. Most of the districts wrapped around this are at 5 gigs or 2.5 gigs per site per school. And all of our schools have 10 right now. So these are big deals for us. Access control phase 2 starts this summer, and we've actually started it in this building as well. We're really excited to get that completed. The upgrades across all the district, that'll be good. Standardize the start day modified lockdown buttons tied to the district intercom system. That's going to be huge. That'll be epic for everyone. The visual alerts outside the buildings, letting everyone know that we're in lockdown or we have a problem inside the school. And the automatic lock and unlock of the predetermined schedule will really assist the schools in ensuring the security is nice and tight. We also begin the large venue audio video upgrades will start this summer. And that's really big because the schools are really desperately needing those spaces because they entertain so many great events throughout the school year. Long-term projects. I won't go into each one of the details, but we have our new phone system coming in. We have phase 3 of the access control, which is locking down every classroom with the badge, which that'll just be absolutely a next level for us. The new district-wide radio system, we're really excited to get that up. It's an updated emergency radio system completely across the district. One radio will talk to all, including the police departments at a single point. So we're really excited about that. The new bus camera system is on its way. We're excited to get that started. And then the firewall upgrade. Recent accomplishments. This is probably one of the biggest things that I've done since I've been here and stuff. I revamped the assurance program. The assurance program not only provides the one-to-one support for our schools, but it also provides the new Chromebooks that are damaged and required replacements come out of that same program. It also funds my entire summer internship program, which the students rebuild and fix all of the broken equipment inside the district, our Sumner School District students. And it funds our part-time year-round internship program. I have 4 interns year-round that work in the technology department that come to me 2 hours every day just to repair Chromebooks and to learn a quality skill set. And I'm very passionate about giving back to these students. It provides real working skills in the technology fields, allowing for immediate employment if they desired, a means to an end with real life skill sets. This first class that we're dealing with, their march is to go to complete their certifications, which allow them to work anywhere at any time. More recent accomplishments enabled the staff to print from Chrome devices. That was huge. They're flat panels that you're seeing all the way through here throughout the district. Every classroom has these. Every meeting room has these. We literally, and the panels we got for just an amazing cost. Deployed brand new wireless system, Wi-Fi 6 throughout the entire district. Well beyond most districts' capability, and we have already done it. Installed a brand new bus Wi-Fi system at no cost to the district. At no cost, we put Wi-Fi on buses. We purchased and deployed 660 HP Elite Dragonfly teacher Chromebooks, completely changed the attitude of teachers with portable technology inside the district. I have not found a single teacher that does not love their device. Installation of the new transportation software for increased efficiency and visibility. We're actually in the middle of a pilot program with Emerald Hills and LMS to start badging as the children step on the bus, which is a big change in the game all the way across. We implemented advanced phishing reporting system. Our cybersecurity program is on top of it. The people that we have hired to put in this position, Keith Stevens is doing an amazing job, and I'm very proud of the entire team, the way they've worked through this. They created the incident response plan for all cyber-related events. What is working well? Researching documents and finding the most efficient ways to support our customers. Having a common vision and aligning our resources to meet the vision of the district. Utilizing all funds and sources, E-rate and EFC, to a projected this year of 1 million. I said that, bang. 1 million this year. We have saved millions of technology levies since I've been here, and we will continue to do that. And we've always done more projects than we need. And before I say the last one, what is really working well is the collaboration amongst all the departments in Sumner-Bonney Lake School District within the technology department. And to be absolutely honest, it's my entire technology team. It's a very small team, but they are so efficient. We waste no time. We get things done, and we have a good time doing it. So with that being said, I thank you all for your time, and I'm very happy that I made it through it. Any questions?
Any questions? Go ahead, Paul.
This is a question on the fly because I didn't have it until you kind of talked about it. So let's clarify a little bit. I was a little uncertain. You said something about students badging in on the bus. Is that it? Or
Currently, we're piloting a brand new we bought the new Fleet Vision program, and inside the new Fleet Vision program allows us to take our student to a different level. So we have that completely stood up. Now we're doing the pilot for the student side. So now we have the entire bus. Parents can log on, see where buses are, but they don't know if Billy's on said bus. This new program that we're piloting right now with Emerald Hills and LMS, where we took a middle school and an elementary school, very like-minded area, and we're giving all of them badges. The badges have been delivered. So when they step aboard the bus, they will badge in. A parent will then be able to log into the application, and they can verify that Billy got on the bus. And when they leave the bus, they scan it. And they can also verify that Billy got off the bus at his girlfriend's house and he wasn't supposed to. So that is all in place right now. We're running a pilot of it to see how viable it is and how much actual work it is. There's some financial obligations that are inside there. We don't know exactly. So we're just trying to get that all determined. But we want to run a quality pilot to make a determination if this was a great fit for us.
thank you. It was a good description of it. I'm glad you're running a pilot program.
There's the button. Robin, I want to thank you, one, for the presentation, your energy. I am a little let down that that's not Lori up there in the outfit, but that's okay.
I spent hours looking for that one.
I kind of figured. One of the things I really appreciate, and I know in your position it's really tough, is you've got the day-to-day, my Chromebook doesn't work, I need it to work. My phone's not working, I need this. All those type of things. You have to solve problems of things that we've had for a while, and maybe they're not up to where we want to be, but technology hasn't caught up to where we would like to be. But then you guys are also looking in the future. You're always looking out there, and I know you do a great job of price-wise, quality of materials, those type of things. And I just think that is huge. And your whole department works so hard at that. Like I said, trying to keep things going from 10 years ago to where are we going to be in 5 to 10 years. And that is amazing to me. And you guys do such a good job. And I don't think people say thank you enough. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, yeah, great questions. And yes, thank you for being such a financial steward of levy dollars. Much appreciated. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, I think we're actually going to take a short break.
Things and work as a fiduciary to the district. So helping Dr. Dent and her staff advise you to make on decisions that hopefully will benefit the district. I have a presentation. Sure. Okay, here we go. Got the technology. Great. So I'm really here to answer questions that you might have. I have a few slides to share, but please ask any questions you have. But when we're thinking of funding the district facilities, we're not looking at just the facilities. We're also taking into account the technology levy. You've got funding your operating levy, because what people pay is the total tax, right? So we want to look at all of those so that we can try to layer them in appropriately to have a tax cost, if you will, that is manageable over time. I thought I'd mention a little bit about the bond market. You can see interest rates, as we all know, are very volatile. You hear on the news how the Fed's been raising interest rates. Well, you can see on the graph on the right-hand side of that how rates have been going up quite a bit. The expectation is that they're going to lower rates at some point, but as you know, again, listen to the news, that hasn't happened yet. What that means in our world is we want to be conservative when we're projecting what a bond would cost out into the future and add some cushion to today's rates. But it also, if you look at the graph, we're still relatively low compared to history. So it's still a good time to be borrowing money on behalf of taxpayers to pay for school facilities. Just to run some scenarios and what it would look like if the district were to request a bond issue authorization of $732 million this fall. We know we have the new operating levy in place, and as Bang mentioned, it's under this per pupil lid. So I want to get an idea what that's going to be when we're projecting tax rates, and yay on the technology levy. So that's all really great community support. We sell bonds in an authorization like that over time, so it doesn't all go at once. We sell the bonds in multiple series to meet the construction cash flow. And again, we talk about interest rates. We're adding a cushion to today's rates when we do these projections. We have a maximum term on the bonds of 21 years. Under Washington state law, you could actually go up to 40. I've never seen a district go beyond 25, but it's the same as your home mortgage. The longer you go, the lower payment would be, but the higher the interest cost. Most districts have settled on 20 years or 21 years as that term. So we're trying to do this in a fiscally conservative manner, I guess is what I'm saying. The good news is, with that authorization, the district's projected tax rates, and that's what these bars are, the green being the operating levy, the tan orange being the technology levy, and then the bond being the blue, the existing bonds. And then the yellow would be the new bonds. And you can see how your existing bond tax rates drop off because your payments drop off starting, quite a bit in 2029. So we'd layer the bond payments to, try to increase them there and keep them as low as possible for the next 4 years until then to keep the tax rates under control. But the total tax rate, if you look at the graph at 479, including this proposed bond authorization, would be lower than many of the tax rates for prior years other than 23 and 24. And that's because the bond payments dropped off in those years. That would have been a great time to ask for a bond authorization in 21, but there was something going on in 21 that we're all trying to forget that didn't make it the right time to do that. So I think it is an increase in taxes, but it's an increase back to where they've been in the rates. So compared to today's tax rates, this, I'm going to go right to the bottom, with the new bonds at a $4.79 per thousand, that'd be an 85-cent increase per thousand. So on a $500,000 home, it'd be about $35 per month. And again, that's from where they are now, but they're lower than where they have been. So that's the main information I wanted to share. But again, we have, an opportunity for any questions you might have. If you choose to move forward with this, the next step would be to work with your legal counsel to prepare an election resolution to go to voters, and then the community outreach and hire some smart communication people that's not me. So they can effectively make that message. The numbers behind that graph are in the appendix. They're going to be really small if I put them up on here, but if you'd like to look at them, they're there.
Great, thank you. Any questions anybody has? That's definitely a lot of numbers to crunch and that sort of thing, but yeah. Go ahead, Paul.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for coming out. You had mentioned proceeding, we would talk with the attorney and then to get a bond resolution. Um, when you did these projections, I think in the past we've used, I don't know the exact name. I want to say Dr. Pepper, but
Yeah,
it's not that.
It was Foster Pepper. Now
Foster Pepper,
it's
yeah.
Foster Garvey now. So
Okay,
they missed.
so they've changed, but that's the people who sell the bonds. They buy the bond from us and then they sell it in the market, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. The people involved in a bond transaction, really, you have the financial advisor. Again, what I work with the district as a fiduciary. Your legal counsel is a fiduciary to the district as well, and that's Foster Garvey. So they make sure that everything you do is in compliance with local laws, state laws, federal laws, and federal securities laws, because you'd be selling bonds on the municipal bond market. It's a highly regulated by the SEC, what you do. So they're making sure that everything is done correctly and all. Then you have to have a bond underwriting firm, and they actually buy the bonds from the district and turn around and sell them to investors. So firms you might have heard the name D.A. Davidson is one firm, Piper Sandler is another one. They're the two most active in Washington, but there are a lot of firms throughout the country that are in that business. They're kind of on the other side of the table, if you will, because they're representing the investors. So they're the ones that be actually buying the bonds from the district. You can't sell bonds directly to individuals or to investors. You have to have the underwriter in the middle to do that under securities laws.
Thanks. One more question. So it looks to me like the current rate is somewhere between 4% and 5%. It's fluctuating there. How much extra of a cushion? You said you put a cushion on in these calculations. How much extra cushion did you put in?
For the first bond measure, bond sale, I put 0.75% as a cushion, thinking that rates are more likely to be going down. If, the Fed does get inflation under control, often I'll put more than that, kind of what depends. And then for anything after that 1%. So 1%, if you're looking at 1% increase on 4%, that's actually a big increase in rates. So I think that, we're actually going to be in the market next week with Bethel School District, and then 2 weeks after that with Edmond School District for $320 million. So we got a pretty good eye on what interest rates are right now.
Thank you.
Great.
Bill, did you have any questions? Awesome. Well, thank you very much. That was great information.
Okay, thank you.
All right, this brings us to our information only portion of the agenda. We have a public records transparency report included for you, as well as a parks and recreation report and the report from the bond oversight report are all presented as information only items.
I just want to make sure I recognize Mayor Terry Carter from the city of Bonnie Lake is here tonight. Thank you for being here. In case there were questions about the Parks and Recreation report that was requested by the board, you do notice that it's on the board agenda, and David Wells is here as well, the manager of Parks and Rec. So were there any questions for Parks and Rec?
I didn't have any questions. I just wanted to thank you. I know I was the one who asked for the report, and it was very, very helpful. It was great to see all the different things you're doing and that you're looking out there once again to see what else in the community they would like to do to participate in that. So thank you very much for the quick response, and it was really, really well done.
I too like the report. I've seen that brochure many, many times at my house as I've signed my kid up for activities over the years. I really hope when I saw the financial report, I just hope you guys can find the money and find the will to make this work for the community. I know that you guys want to reach out to other partners. Best of luck. I know that Lori is in the mix of that, trying to help and facilitate, but I hope you guys can make this happen. And thanks for coming, Terry.
If you had any.
Thank you. I would just say thank you to the board and to Dr. Dent, to David Wells for working this whole thing. What we're looking for, as you can see through the report, is we're looking for some help. And you guys have been good stewards in helping us with that in the past. And our hope is that will continue, at least on certainly into the future, no matter what, whether it's on a 1 year, 3 or whatever type deal for an ILA to move forward with fields and that kind of stuff, because kids need places to play and to do these sports and things and keep active. And so we just want to thank you for that, and hope that we come to a good conclusion together, work together. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. I'll just add that I can echo the comments made. I think that it's really important that the Bonnie Lake, City of Bonnie Lake continues the Parks and Recs program and keeps that in-house and instead of privatizing it. And so I would really love to see that continue to go forward with the City of Bonnie Lake. All right, that brings us to board discussion. Are there any items for board discussion at this time?
Just my carpooling announcement. We need those PTA people to get together and get these kids to activities. The sun is out to like 8:30 now. These kids are active and they need some help getting to where they need to be. So thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Bill, anything? All right. Well, that concludes board discussion. And a board meeting has been scheduled for Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. Will begin at 6 p.m. in the central office boardroom. Thank you for being with us tonight. If there's no further business, we are adjourned.